Okay, today's topic is plant structure and function. Now, the root, stem, leaves, flowers, fruits, etc. of different plants are different. We can easily identify them with the help of different characteristics. Now, let us study about each part in detail. First of all, before we begin, let me tell you what is a cotyledon. It is a part of the growing plant within the seed of a plant. It is called as the embryonic leaf, from where actually the whole plant is going to come out. So the seeds of which contain one cotyledon are called as monocotyledonous, and seeds of which contain two cotyledons are called as dicotyledonous plants. Radicle. Now, can you see the part radicle and plumule? Okay, so the part that grows from inside the seed towards the soil is called as radicle, and part that grows above the soil is called as plumule. The root that forms from the radicle grows into the ground. So the part of the plant growing below the soil for support is called as the root. So you can remember radicle, R for root. So roots develop from the radicle and stem develops from the plumule. There are two types of roots. The first is taproot. Roots of some plants, they produce secondary roots that grow slanting and spread far and wide in the soil. So such roots, they support the plant. So such type of roots are called as the taproot. So you can see in the diagram the taproot. Okay, example is beetroot or carrot. Next is about the fibrous root. So if you place an onion on the mouth of the jar in such a way that its roots are towards the water, you will observe that thread-like fiber-like roots arise from the stem, and such roots are called as fibrous roots. For example, dicotyledonous plants, they have taproots, and monocots have fibrous roots. Now, besides that the roots actually support, they also show some modification to perform these additional functions. Some examples of such modified roots are aerial roots, like you can see in the diagram, the banyan tree, stilt roots, okay, runners or breathing roots. They are also called as pneumatophores. You can see in the diagram. So these pneumatophores are actually special root structures that grow out from water surface and help in aeration, which is necessary for root respiration in the aquatic trees. You can see such type of pneumatophores in the mangroves where the trees are in the water. Stem. The stem grows above the soil from the plumule of the sprouting seed. As the sprout grows, the length of the stem gradually increases too. Now if you see in the diagram, there are nodes on the stem. Leaves come out from those nodes. The part of the stem between two nodes is called as an internode. You can clearly see in the diagram. The tip of the apical end of the stem is called as a bud. And a bud from a flower arises from a bud. So you can observe the diagram and you can easily see the stem. Now leaf. Leaves grow from the nodes on a stem. Leaves are generally thin, flat and green in color. The broad spread out part of the leaf is called as the leaf blade or is also called as the lamina, and its edge is called as the leaf margin. You can see in the diagram. The tip of the leaf is called as the leaf apex. It may be tapering, pointed or rounded. Leaves of some plants may have a stalk which is called as a petiole. Leaves of some plants do not have a petiole. The portion of the leaf attached to the stem is called as the leaf base. Small leaf-like structures may be present near the leaf base. These are called as stipules. In different plants, the arrangement of leaves on the stem is different. It may be alternate, opposite, whorled, spiral, etc. Now if you see in the diagram, alternate means these plants have two leaves which arise from the node in opposite direction found in maybe sunflower or guava. Next is decussate. Decussate, the leaves are arranged on the stem in opposite pairs at right angles. Opposite leaves means two leaves are on the opposite side of the stem. Whorled. Whorled means when leaves are surrounded or wrapped around the stem, that is called as whorl arrangement. This is very common in aloe vera. So this was the leaf arrangement. Now, the pepal leaf is divided into two equal parts by a single mid vein, which lies along the midline of the leaf blade. Secondary veins mean small veins arise from the mid vein. Okay, they are branched and they form a network, or it is also called as the reticulum. On the other hand, sometimes, for example, in the leaves of maize, all the veins are parallel, running from the leaf base to the leaf apex. Thus, the pepal leaf blade has reticulate venation and the maize leaf blade has parallel venation. You can clearly see in the diagram what is parallel venation and reticulate venation, and you can differentiate between them. Flowers may have a long or a short stalk called pedicel. One end of the pedicel is attached to the stem. The other end of the pedicel is expanded and swollen. This is called as a receptacle. Petals and other parts of the flower are supported on the receptacle. Calyx, corolla, Androecium, Gynoecium are different parts of a flower. Now let us see what is calyx. If you can see in the diagram, the green color part. In the bud condition, the petals are covered by leaf-like parts called sepals, which are green in color. So they form the calyx. Next is corolla. This is made up of colorful parts called as petals. Observe the shape, color and smell of the corolla of different flowers like rose, chrysanthemum, hibiscus, mogra, etc. Next, what is androecium? If you see in the diagram, the male reproductive part of the flower, that means it consists of stamen. Stamen is made up of anther and filament. Gynoecium. This is the female reproductive part of the flower. This is made up of carpels. A carpel consists of stigma, style and ovary. So this was all about the flower, and vertical section of a hibiscus flower is shown in the diagram.